Upon the approval of IIQA by NAC, the HEI will get an auto-generated email from admin NAC communicating the acceptance of IIQA. This is also to let know the institution that the SSR for their institution can be accessed through the HEI portal. Hence, the institution may start filling the SSR. The email also will state that the IIQA has been accepted for submission for the self-study report. NAC accepts only online submission of SSR, and institution shall submit the SSR by logging into their portal. The online SSR has to be submitted within 30 days from the date of acceptance of IIQA. Kindly note that the data for student satisfaction survey and data templates for respective metrics are mandatory for the submission of SSR. So, for further details and instructions on procedures and timelines for processing A&A applications, etc., kindly visit our nac.gov.in website. Now, this video is going to take a tour on how to fill the self-study report of a higher education institution. It is hard for an institution to fill in the SSR within 30 days, and hence part of the preparedness for the assessment and accreditation will be to plan your SSR even before your IIQA. As a part of preparedness of the institution towards assessment and accreditation, to prepare SSR even before IIQA, please go to the NAC's website www.nac.gov.in and then click on this button Apply Online, which will take you to the page where the manuals regarding SSR, IIQA and other processes are being listed. This page as Apply Online has the manuals for SSR for universities, for autonomous college and for affiliated institutions. Now, the component of SSR has elements of values that you give as input in your SSR, the templates and supporting documents. Now, when you click on the affiliated or constituent colleges, this opens the manual that has the entire details about the assessment and accreditation process upon the acceptance of IIQA. It is important that the institution should read the entire content before they apply or they complete the process of SSR. The most important component of here that concerns to the SSR is the QIF, the Quality Indicator Framework. The QIF consists of 7 criteria and has QLM, which is qualitative metrics, and QNM, which is a quantitative metrics. For details of how many QLM and QNM makes up the QIF for an affiliated college is also given in the manual. For an affiliated college, we have 7 criteria, 32 key indicators and 41 qualitative metrics and 80 quantitative metrics. That makes up to 121 in total for an affiliated or a constituent college. The breakup for university and autonomous colleges are also given in the same manual. The Quality Indicator Framework gives you an idea about the components of the SSR that will be asked in the assessment and accreditation process. Each component of this SSR has been very clearly stated in the manual, and the same can be prepared much in advance. That would ease the institution to complete the process of completing the SSR within 30 days. To know about the intent of each metric, the standard operating procedure given in the website that can guide you about what is being intended about a particular metric. This document takes an entire tour towards the DVV point of view, the data validation and verification point of view, that what is being expected in every metric and the document that is supposed to be given in support of that metrics. In case of 1.1.2, it is about the number of certificate and diploma programs introduced during last 5 years. It states very clearly that we need the syllabus copy of certificate or diploma program or the minutes of meeting specifying introduction of a certificate program or a diploma program from the competent authority. It also says specific instructions to the HEIs as the minutes of meeting specifying the introduction of certificate or diploma program from the competent authority, and this will be cross-checked with the syllabus copy that is being provided. In case of data being large, then DVV may seek for a document for random selected courses. The portal facilitates only an upload of 5 MB space. NAC is striving to extend this 5 MB space to suit all the uploads, but as of now it is restricted only to 5 MB. In such cases, then we expect that the institution fills in the data template of the affiliated colleges can be downloaded from here. These are Excel files that talks about the data that you are supposed to give in a structured format, which is already been specified to you through the data templates. Now these data templates are clubbed in together as one Excel file, but you could see that the different matrices that NAC wants to get the data are being listed here. Some of the metrics are combined, like 2.4.1 and 2.4.3 are combined together as one data template, and the same can be uploaded against 2.4.1 section. Now in 1.1.2, in terms of the number of certificate and diploma programs introduced during last 5 years, the data template requires the program code, program name, the name of the certificate or diploma program introduced in last 5 years, the year of its introduction, and the link of relevant document. The link is being sought here, as you are aware that NAC have a restricted space of only 5 MB of upload, and hence if the institution wish to upload the data in their website, they may do so and give the link of that particular document in this box. This can be prepared much before the application of IIQA and is part of the institutional preparedness to do so. Similarly, every template of the concerned matrix can also be filled before starting the assessment and accreditation process. A tour on these metrics will also guide you about the data what the NAC requires for the assessment and accreditation process. This becomes the preliminary data based on which the assessment and accreditation process will continue for the higher education institution. Now, understanding about the manual that can be obtained from here and understanding about the templates that we need data in a structured format that has been preset by the NAC in an Excel format, and understanding about the standard operating procedure for data validation and verification that guides you about the document that you are supposed to give. We assume that the institution prepares this data before the assessment and accreditation process and applies the IIQA, and the IIQA being approved, we will see how to fill in the data in the HEI's portal for the self-study report. Upon the receipt of such email, the HEI needs to log in to the portal, on where you will get the message that the IIQA has been approved and the date of approval also will be given. The filling up of SSR section has several subsections inside it, as profile of the SSR, extended profile and QIF, executive summary, optional metrics, SSR initial payment, details of student survey, and the submission of SSR. Now, starting with the profile of SSR, the profile of SSR has 3 subsections as basic information, academic information, and evaluative report of the department. Basic information, most of the basic information sought here is auto-populated from your IIQA. Some information like the type of institution by gender, whether it is a co-education institution or institution for women or men, or the institution is on a regular basis, day or regular evening, or if it is recognized as a minority institutions, are the details that are sought out here. But apart from that, relevant details are already been provided from the IIQA. In the case of date of establishment, it may always happen that an institution is established at one date, but the offering of degree started from a different date. That means year in which the institution was established to what the year that currently an institution is coming for accreditation need not have to tally with this year. This year, maybe 1 or 2 years later, the institution would have started promoting the academics. So, in such case, this number can also vary. After completing this section, we proceed to the academic information. Now, in the academic information, details like that of UG program, PG program will always be given through the IIQA. That is why it is marked in a different color. But the duration of the course, the entry level, the sanctioned strength and the number of students admitted have to be given here in this section of SSR. Details of teaching faculty need to be given in this section, non-teaching staff, technical staff, and the qualification details of the staff members as professors with highest qualification of PhD, MPhil, PG, etc. And then the visiting faculties or guest faculty details. Then the students detail based on the reservation of caste, and then the accreditation details will auto-populate, the date of submission, and then the number of programs as new programs introduced during last 5 years and the self-financed programs, the unit cost of education. Giving all these details, we should save and proceed to the next. While proceeding to the next, to the evaluation report, for affiliated college, the evaluative report is not applicable. But for the universities or autonomous college, it will be applicable. A download button for the same also will be available, in which a template can be downloaded, filled in, and the same has to be uploaded again. Now, in terms of the QIF and the extended profile, extended profile acts as the denominator to calculate the QNM aspects, and hence the extended profile here seek for information which would be quite large in nature, like the number of courses offered by the institution across all programs during last 5 years. Now, in this, a specific template format is also provided. This can be downloaded. The details of the courses are supposed to be filled in here and then has to be uploaded back in this section. We would see that there are tooltips provided here as in this symbol. These tooltips helps you to understand the intent of what is being sought here. The extended profile talks about the denominator for the QNM, which are the quantitative metrics. In the quality indicator framework, we have 7 criteria: curriculum aspects, teaching learning evaluation, research, innovation and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. Each of them have number of metrics that are stated here. 1.1.1 is a QLM. As we would have seen here in this case, Q in the manual has QLM, which are qualitative metrics, QNM, which are quantitative metrics. Now, QLM metrics are qualitative metrics that takes descriptive approach towards the metrics. Here, the institution is expected to describe the relevance in text with prescribed word limit. The word limits are given here and we are supposed to fill in the details here as text. We would also see the word counts that will facilitate you to keep well within the word limits. If any supporting documents are to be provided, that can be uploaded here in this section. QNM are quantitative metrics. Now, QNM, there are several types of QNM that we have here. In this particular QNM, as percentage of full-time teachers in various bodies of the universities, autonomous college and other institutions such as BOS, academic council, etc. during the last 5 years, seeks for the data as year-wise during last 5 years, and hence there is a year-wise breakup of the data that is being sought. Now, this year-wise talks about for a period of 17-18, how many staff members were there in the BOS or any other relevant bodies. In 2016-17, how many were there? 15-16, how many were there? 14-15, how many were there? And 13-14, how many were there? Now, this such kind of data is hinted with the fact asking for year-wise during last 5 years. Hence, a breakup of the data year-wise becomes essential here. But in this case, percentage of new courses introduced out of total number of courses across all programs, how many new courses are introduced for the last 5 years? When this metric talks about for the last 5 years, one whole number is being sought. That is, for the last 5 years, how many new courses have been introduced in different programs of the institution. Now, here this number is supposed to be only one number, though the same course is repeated in consecutive years but we talk about the introduction of the course alone here, and hence it is supposed to be only one number here. It can be around 10 courses that you have introduced. Aspects like courses, programs have a definition in the RAF, and hence it is important that we stay in tune with the glossary that has been given in the manual to understand the terminologies and to answer accordingly. Program are like the BA, BSc, BCom, BE degrees, but courses are a unit in the curriculum that may be 2 to 6 credits or a 3-credit course which will have 3 classroom sessions, upon completing which you will be writing an exam against the same. Courses are the subjects or papers which you will have a definite number of courses, completing which you will attain degree. Coming back to this, so it can be one whole number for the last 5 years. Some aspects of QNM are also multiple choice, like 1.4.1 metrics talks about whether structured feedback is received from students, teachers, employees, alumni, parents for design and review of the syllabus semester wise. This has different selections that you could make. Like if you say, if you have any 2 of the above, suppose if you are selecting students and teachers, which are 2 of the above, it could be 3 of the above, it could be 4 of the above, it could be any one of the above or even none of the above. So the appropriate choice has to be selected. As we said earlier, that every QNM is supported by a template, and the template, the details of the certificate or the diploma program, which is called as a data template. The template could be filled in and kept ready by the institution, or can be downloaded from here, and the same can be filled in and can be uploaded in this section. Minutes of relevant academic council meetings can be uploaded here, and if you have any other additional information in support of this particular metric or the details sought in this metric can be uploaded in this section. Upon completing the first criteria, we can go to the second criteria. Each criteria has a metric year-wise or as whole numbers, like number of differently abled students on rolls. Now, these questions or these metrics has a description of current year data. When we see here in the manual also, the same is provided as current year data within bracket. Now, current year specifically means the recently completed academic year. If you are coming for the assessment and accreditation in September 2018, if you are filling up the application SSR form, the current year for you would be during June to July 2017-18. In such case, during June 17 to July 2018, how many differently abled students were there on rolls? This has to be given on as one whole number. So, by filling up these details and giving the data template appropriately, you will be able to proceed to the next section, and while doing so, we will have here the number of metrics that are answered completely will be listed down here. For every quantitative metric, we will see that there is a related input given here. It is important to understand how this quantitative metric works. In the manual, a detailed formula is given for every metric, that how an input that is given by the institution is converted into a value. 3.4.4, for example, is a metric that talks about the total number of students participating in extension activities with government organizations, non-government organizations and programs such as Swachh Bharat, AIDS awareness, gender issues, etc. year-wise during last 5 years. Here the input of the institution is, in the year 2017-18, 100 students participated, 2016-17, 80, and 2015-16 it was 80, 14-15 it was 30, and 13-14 it was 50. The related input as denominator for this particular metric is going to be fetched from the extended profile as the total number of students year-wise, and hence we would see that that appears here, and this will be matched according to the formula, worked out according to the formula that is provided here, that the total number of students participating in such program divided by the total number of students every year into 100, and that percentage is again averaged out, whose response or the final value would be 57.3. This value will be marked against a benchmark in the system, and that benchmark will be multiplied by the weightage of the question, and in this case the weightage of the metric is 20, and hence the score of the institution from a scale of 0 to 4 will be multiplied by 20 to get the final value here. For finance related metrics like that of 4.2.4 talks about annual expenditure for purchase of books and journals during last 5 years. These values are specifically sought in lakhs, hence the value has to be converted to lakhs to accommodate into this per year, and hence the breakup that is being sought is for financial year, that is March to March of 17-18, 16-17, 15-16, 14-15 and 13-14. We request you to please go through the SOP for this. Like for example, for the same case, we would require an audited statement highlighting the expenditure for purpose. Instead of providing an entire budget statement, there has to be an abstract of the budget highlighting the annual expenditure towards the purchase of books, journals during last 5 years, that has to be duly attested by a chartered accountant or a finance related concerned authority. This has to be uploaded here in the audited statement of accounts. As it was said before, NAAC has the capability to host the data up to 5 MB for each institution, because of which additional information are sought in links here. This metric is about rainwater harvesting, which is a QLM, qualitative metric, that you would be giving text within 500 word limit. In support of this, if you have any pictures or videos that has been hosted in your website, you may give the link here. But please remember, when you are giving a link here, the landing page should be directly to the content of the relevance that it attaches to the metric. When the institution hosts data in its website, appropriate assimilation of the data, the operationality of the link during the DVV clarification will be the responsibility of the HEI. The HEI should not add or delete any information from the website, especially to the links that are provided in the SSR, which would account to manipulation. The data available during the DVV process only will be taken into account for the assessment. These tabs helps us to identify the completeness of the work. Like for example, in such case when we are ready to submit, we could verify from here in the criteria 1, out of 11 metrics, all the 11 have been answered. But in criteria 2, we have 3 more metrics to be answered. And in criteria 4, we have 2 more metrics to be answered. Now let us answer those so that it gives us a completeness of the SSR. As the session logout time is 30 minutes, it is important that after every edit, we have to save the data and ensure that whatever the edits that you have done is being saved successfully. We have almost answered all the metrics in all the criteria except for one here. In the criteria 2, the 2.7 metrics student survey data, the online student satisfaction survey regarding teaching learning processes, a separate section has been created for this to upload the data. Once we complete this section here, the same data here will also be shared in the QIF that would enable us to complete the entire exercise. Keeping this pending, let us move to the executive summary. Executive summary is all about text files that you would have to paste here as an introductory note, the vision of the institution, the mission of the institution, and the criteria wise summary that we are supposed to write here, and the SWOT analysis that the institution has to write here, that the institution has to paste the text here, and then the conclusory remarks by the institution. After having filled in the executive summary, the optional metrics can be selected. In order to overcome the challenges posed by the revised accreditation framework to the institutions may opt out for non-applicable metrics. The opt-out metrics are those metrics that are apart from the essential metrics that are available as options to leave them by choice. The weightage would also be opted out for calculation of CGPA. For example, if you are opting out for a total of 49 weightage, the total CGPA of your institution will be calculated based on 951 and not 1000 weightage. There are set rules for the opt-out that are available in the NAAC website. It would be a wise decision to fill in the SSR and look for the metric performance and then choose yourself to opt out. The rules of the opt-out is that one cannot opt out from the essential metrics, and that is why the essential metrics are not listed in these lists. One cannot opt out more than 20 weightage in one criteria. So, if I try to take more than 20 weightage in a metric, it would throw up an error here. And in total, I cannot opt out more than 50 weightage. That we will be able to see it here. If it goes more than 50 weightage, it will also throw up an error. And criteria 7 is not available for opt-out, hence it is compulsory for the institution to attend the same. I have listed out based on the performance of this institution what could be opted out, and hence we can select the same. 1.4.2, 2.1.1, and we will see that the cumulative number just keeps on increasing. 2.4.3, 4.1.4, 3.3.3, 4.2.5 and 3.4.2. Now, when I try to select any metrics more than the 50 weightage, it will not allow me to select, stating that the limit is only 50. We can save and finalize. We have to click on the declaration and finalize. Now, the list of excluded metrics will be available for your future reference. After doing this, we would be able to proceed to the student survey. Now, the student survey data has to be there in the format that was specified by NAAC. One of the special feature of the revised accreditation framework is the students' satisfaction survey, which is conducted online by NAAC without the interference of the institution. The details of the students are to be provided by the institutions during the submission of their SSR in the criteria 2 in metrics 2.7.1. A separate section has been created here in the portal for this, which is the student details for survey. Here we require that the student details to be provided in the prescribed format that has been pre-spelled by NAAC in the data template 2.7.1. As we have told in our extended profile that we have 215 students currently enrolled for the year 17-18, we require the 215 students details here in this section in the format provided by NAAC. There should not be any change of the format that is being provided by NAAC, and with this there should be 215 entries of data. There can be repetition of names, which is obviously possible, but the email address provided to the students should be unique. We have a software capability to remove the repeated student email addresses, and when we upload the data, we require minimum 60% and above data of the student details, without which our system will not allow for the submission of the SSR. Now, coming to the student details for student survey, as said earlier, we have a pending section here in 2.7.1 as the student details that we are supposed to give for the online survey. This could be done by downloading the Excel file here and filling up the details in this. While doing so, the same file has to be saved and uploaded in this section. When we upload the details provided about the students also list down here. Kindly go through these instructions. They will help you in terms of filling in the student survey details. It is important that the details of the student survey should be filled in the prescribed template format only. The template format should not be changed, and it is expected that the email IDs provided by the institution is valid and it is currently operating. There is no provision to edit this list after the submission of SSR, and hence utmost care should be taken for providing these details. We would see that all the sections are completed and we can proceed to the payment section. The payment section, there are two payments available for the SSR, which is an initial payment, and after the pre-qualification process, the second installment can be paid. About further details of payment regarding SSR, you may please go through the manual hosted in the NAAC's website. To make the payment, this page directs you. The amount is calculated based on the faculty and other aspects that are being spelled out in the manual, and it directs to the payment gateway. Upon providing the required credentials in the payment gateway, after the payment becoming successful, it redirects you back to the SSR page. Upon the successful payment, the payment also would turn green and a submit button will be available for you to complete the process, pressing which your SSR will be completed and submitted successfully. This preview details option gives you to see your SSR that you have been prepared and can be downloaded as a PDF for your future reference. With this, we are completing the module of SSR, but it is again reiterated that it would be hard for the institution to complete this process within 30 to 45 days, and hence NAAC requests all the HEIs to have it prepared by the use of the manual, the template and the standard operating procedure hosted in the NAAC's website as a part of preparedness for the assessment and accreditation of the institution. Thank you.